Good morning, fellow travelers. It is, let's see, week 2, day 4, I think. Anyway, we're in Seattle, whatever day that is. And I'm doing an underground Seattle tour. So we're going to meet at the Wheelhouse Bar in about an hour, a little over an hour. I've had breakfast at the main dining room. I tried their country breakfast. It was a little strange, but okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's time to go explore Seattle. But we'll see how it goes, and I'll let you know how the tour is, because it sounded interesting. I've never been underneath the city, and that should be a new experience. This guy, he's our man, I guess. Okay. We love him.
There's your boyfriend?
Oh yeah, totally. There can be no video of me talking.
Of the corn building, not a basement. this way. Got some sinks to go with our crappers.
Well, that's always good. You can wash your hands.
And there we go, creepy bootlegger hole. Who knows what lies on the other side? Probably departed spirits.
Or something.
Some people capture orbs and figures on their cameras down here.
Interesting.
Super low. So if you are over 5'6", duck. Follow me. All right, just take a left and head on down to the wooden walkway with the bench on it.
Okay.
Gather by that bench. Actually rent this little area out and get married down here.
Wow.
I was the tour guide on a wedding in there, and here's another happy couple. The eldest in that photo is one of our tour guides.
Wow.
And then here's a picture of the bank back in the day. Bank teller's cage. This is the main vault door. Here we got the secondary vault door. Right here is the makeshift vault. And then clearly this tub was used for money laundering.
Oh.
So here's an example of where we busted through the rock so that the tour can get through.
Cool.
This really would have been solid to separate this building from that building.
Dripping.
And then up here, there used to be more sidewalk glass, but they paved over it and then they took it out.
What a shame.
But the indentations are still there. And the ferns still like to grow. They'll grow anyway.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they like it.
Totally will.
Well, they're kind of turning, oh, those ones look fresh though.
Yeah, these are totally happy still.
Historic debris. Right this way. These are parts from an old Otis elevator.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
A little storage area in there. Elevator, huh? This looks like it's from a power.
Looks like it. Looks like it.
Huh.
But that is appropriate. More purple glass.
Oh. So what's this?
That's a building decoration. It's just made out of pressed tin.
It's very cool.
I've been told they would cover it with concrete. It was supposed to look like carved stone.
Oh, interesting. A phone booth. You never see those anymore.
No, we come on, stay sharp, dude. It normally does. I don't know what its problem is.
Use the door holder again.
No, sorry.
Usually it goes, I guess.
Usually.
It looks like the thing isn't lining up anymore.
Alright, so Madam Lou's over there on the left. There's the Crapper Brand Crapper. If anyone needs functional crappers, those are at the back of the store. See you all around the corner.
There's the fancy printer. can you just hear them all saying, mine, mine, mine. Hello, fellow travelers. It is day 4 of week 2, and we were in Seattle, and I had a good day. So we went on the underground Seattle tour, which was really interesting. Now, one caveat there, if you have mobility problems, this is not the tour for you. There are a number of very steep steps in various places. So it is, and it says that it's not good for someone with problems walking. And they aren't kidding. It's really not for someone who has problems walking or with stairs because they don't have any kind of accommodation for anyone who has problems with that. And it is historic areas, so it's not as though they can actually make modifications without having problems with the historic societies. Once we got down and off the ship, I will say that the port, we were at Pier 66, and it's really nice. It is very modern, and it is right in the middle of their wharf area, and so there's lots of things to do just getting off the ship. So if you don't want to take a tour in Seattle and that's where you're landing, you're good to go. So what we did though was we got on a bus and we took the most convoluted route to get to the Seattle Underground tour area. And we passed the entrance where it said Seattle Underground Tour probably 3 or 4 times. And we went up and we went around and then we went down and then we went back up and went back up again and then we went over here and then we went over there and we went over there. I mean, it felt like Pac-Man. And then he finally gets the bus to where it's positioned the way he wants it, going the right direction on the right street, and he let us off. But it was painful. It was a good half hour on a bus to go like less than a mile, easily less than a mile. So we get off the bus, we walk into the Seattle Underground. It's a building and it says Seattle Underground. So we walk into that entrance and are met by a tour guide, and they let us go and walk to the back of the building. They let everybody go and use the restrooms, and then we went and you go downstairs in the building, and they have like a little area where there's chairs that are set up. Our tour guide, her name was Adrian, did her introduction. She does not allow filming when she's telling her story, so if she's speaking, I can't film. If she's not speaking, I'm allowed to film. And so, well, if she's there were a couple times where she was kind of directing us places. That doesn't count. The main thing is that they don't want someone to film the entire tour and then no one wants to go and actually take the tour, which is understandable. So I have really good footage of where we were, but not so much the stories behind them. But they were very interesting stories. So if you are going to Seattle and you have time and are able to do this, I would recommend it. So we went down into 3 or 4 different tunnels in different buildings because they aren't all connected. Well, they're connected, but different buildings use the tunnel area under them, which belongs to the building it's under or in front of. Some of them use it as storage, some of them actually put bar. There's one that put a bar in it. There's a Magic Mouse store, which is a kids games and stuff store. And apparently they used that area to put some of their puzzle games in. And so, different organizations have used them in different ways, and so you can't just take a tour on the whole system because they're not all accessible, they're all private. And so there are several areas, though, that she was able to get us in from the street, and she has, of course, they've been doing the tour for like 60 years, she said. And yeah, they're able to get us into various places, and it was very interesting, and there's a lot of history there, and she has great stories about it and how some of these things were used, and it was really good. So I would recommend that. So the bus dropped us back off the port, and I just went for a walk. When we pulled in, I've got the aft balcony here, and I could just look down the waterfront, and there's this huge Ferris wheel, and there's a lot of stores and stuff and restaurants and that sort of thing. And so I just walked that direction, and it's maybe a 15-minute walk to get to. I think the Ferris wheel was probably the the first thing that I was interested in. There was a restaurant right after, but right after the port, but it was closed. And so I just kept on walking, and I had my turn on the Ferris wheel. The Ferris wheel cost, I believe it was $18.50 for an adult. There's discounts for seniors and kids, and we were supposed to have 3 rotations on it. They gave us 6, and it was quite windy. And so when you get up to the top, the wind is just howling, and it's rocking the gondola you're in. And we went up to the top, and we kind of sat there, and I mean, it's rocking back and forth. I'm not big on heights. And so I'm looking down, and I'm like, okay, I don't like this very much. But I was okay. I stayed, you know, obviously I stayed. I wasn't going to leap out. And it's fully enclosed, by the way. And you get some beautiful views, both of the harbor area and the skyline as well. And I got some good shots of, there was a ferry at one point that was going. I could see the ship as well, the aft of the ship. And yeah, it was really nice. If you're not big on heights, maybe the Ferris wheel's not for you. After that, though, I went to the Fisherman's restaurant, which is just next door to the Ferris wheel, and had some fish and chips, and those were good. And they had something called a Fisherman's sweet tea. It actually had tea in it, but it had vodka, as I recall, and like a lemon liqueur, and so it was really good. Then I just walked around and shopped and had fun. And that was the rest of my day. I had dinner at the buffet. The one thing I will say about Ruby Princess is that the lines for the dining rooms are really long. And even for afternoon tea. Afternoon tea is extremely popular on this ship for some reason. It was in the first week, and it still is now, where there's, you know, this long line to get into the dining room. Tomorrow is Vancouver. I am on a hop-on, hop-off tour. One of those buses, I believe, and it should be good. We get there at like 9 in the morning. We don't have to be back on the ship until 9:30. So this is an even longer day than today, I think. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been to Vancouver in ages. So Losu signing off.